I never thought I'd be running for my life at 63 years old, hiding in a roadside diner at 2 in the morning with my 12-year-old granddaughter. But when she grabbed my arm in that parking lot and whispered those words, everything I thought I knew about my family shattered in an instant. Let me back up. My name is Richard Pearson, and until 3 days ago, I thought I had it all figured out. After my wife Margaret passed away 5 years ago from cancer, I'd been living alone in our house in Burlington, Ontario. My daughter Jennifer had moved back from Vancouver 2 years ago with her husband Derek and their daughter Lily. They said it was to help me through the grief, to be closer to family. I believed them. Jennifer was my only child. Smart, successful, a pharmaceutical sales representative who traveled frequently for work. Derek seemed like a decent enough son-in-law. Quiet, worked in IT, kept to himself. And Lily, my little Lily, she was the light of my life. 12 years old, sharp as a tack, always asking questions about everything. They'd moved into Margaret's and my old house with me. Made sense, they said. The place was too big for one person, and they'd help with the bills. I'd signed over half the house to Jennifer within months. Family takes care of family, right? 3 nights ago, everything changed. It was a Thursday evening. Jennifer had just left for a week-long pharmaceutical conference in Montreal. Big opportunity, she said. Potentially career-changing. Derek had driven her to Pearson Airport around 6. I'd waved goodbye from the porch, watched their SUV disappear down the street. Lily and I were supposed to have our weekly movie night. She loved those old films I'd show her, the ones her grandmother and I used to watch together. But around 8 o'clock, I noticed she was acting strange. Kept checking her phone, glancing toward the stairs, fidgeting. "Everything all right, sweetheart?" I asked. She looked at me with those serious brown eyes. "Grandpa, can we go get ice cream, please? Right now?" "Now? It's nearly 8:30 on a school night. Please, Grandpa. I really, really need ice cream." There was something in her voice, an urgency I couldn't quite place. This wasn't normal preteen whining. This was different. "All right," I said slowly. "Let me get my jacket." "No." She grabbed my arm. "We need to go now. Right now. And, Grandpa, we can't come back tonight. We need to stay somewhere else." The hair on the back of my neck stood up. "Lily, what's going on?" She pulled out her phone with shaking hands. "I'll explain in the car, but we need to leave. Now. Please, Grandpa, trust me." I've learned over the years that when someone you love tells you to trust them with that kind of desperation, you listen. I grabbed my wallet and keys, and we were in my old Buick within 2 minutes. As I pulled out of the driveway, Lily finally spoke. "Drive to the Tim Hortons on Lake Shore, the one that's open 24 hours. Lily, you need to tell me what's happening." She took a shaky breath. "Grandpa, I found something on Dad's computer. Something really bad." My hands tightened on the steering wheel. "What kind of something?" "He's been researching things. Horrible things. How to make someone's death look like an accident. Specifically, for someone your age, with your medical history." I nearly swerved off the road. "What?" 2 weeks ago, I needed to print something for school. My laptop was acting up, so I used Dad's computer in his office. He'd left it unlocked. I saw his browser history by accident. Her voice cracked. "Grandpa, he's been researching heart attack triggers, medication interactions, how to fake a fall downstairs. And there were notes, detailed notes about your routine, your medications, when you're alone." My heart was pounding. "Lily, are you absolutely certain?" I took screenshots. She pulled up images on her phone. "I've been so scared. I didn't know what to do. Mom's been acting weird too, always asking about your will, about the house paperwork, about your investments. I heard them arguing 2 nights ago. Dad said they needed to wait until after Mom's conference, that it would be too suspicious otherwise." I pulled into the Tim Hortons parking lot, my hands trembling. The screenshots were damning. Search queries dated back 3 months. Elderly heart attack, natural causes. Medication overdose undetectable. Life insurance policy payout timeline. How long does investigation take elderly death? There were documents too. Life insurance policies I didn't remember signing. Recent ones. Large ones. With Jennifer as the sole beneficiary. "When did I sign these?" I whispered. "Remember when Mom said you needed to update your insurance after Grandma died? She said it was just standard paperwork?" I did remember. Jennifer had brought home a stack of papers, guided my hand through signature after signature, said it was all routine estate planning. I'd trusted her completely. "There's more, Grandpa." Lily's voice was barely audible. "I heard Dad on the phone this afternoon. He told someone that tonight's the night, and to make sure the old man's medications are switched. He was talking to someone named Marcus." "Marcus? I don't know who that is. But Grandpa, I think Dad was supposed to do something tonight. That's why Mom really left, so she'd have an alibi. My daughter, my own daughter, was planning to kill me." The realization hit like a physical blow, for the insurance money, for the house, for whatever else they thought they'd inherit. I sat in that parking lot for what felt like hours, but was probably only minutes. Lily was crying silently beside me. I pulled her into a hug. "You did the right thing," I told her. "You saved my life, sweetheart. What do we do now?" Good question. I couldn't go home. If Derek realized we'd left, if he suspected Lily had warned me, we could both be in danger. I couldn't go to the police. Not yet. I needed proof. Real proof. The screenshots were a start, but a defense attorney could argue they were taken out of context, that Derek was researching for a novel or a TV show. I needed more. "We're going to check into a motel," I said. "Somewhere they won't think to look. Then we're going to figure out exactly what's going on." I drove us to a small motel off the highway, the kind of place that takes cash and doesn't ask questions. Got us a room with 2 beds. Lily immediately crashed, the adrenaline finally wearing off. She fell asleep, still clutching her phone. I couldn't sleep. My mind was racing. How long had Jennifer been planning this? Had Derek always been part of it? Or had she convinced him? Had Margaret's death even been natural? No, I couldn't go there. The doctors had confirmed it was cancer. But still, around 3 in the morning, I remembered something. Before Margaret died, she'd introduced me to a lawyer friend of hers, someone she'd known from her volunteer work at the women's shelter, Elena Rodriguez. She'd told me if I ever needed help with anything at all, to call Elena. I found Elena's card in my wallet, tucked behind a photo of Margaret. At 6 a.m., I called her office, got her voicemail, left a message. She called back within an hour. "Mr. Pearson, you said this was urgent?" I explained everything. The screenshots, the insurance policies, Lily's warning, our current situation hiding in a motel. Elena was silent for a long moment. "Richard, I need you to listen very carefully. What you're describing is potentially attempted murder and conspiracy. But you're right that what you have isn't enough yet. We need more. And we need to keep both you and your granddaughter safe. What do I do?" "First, don't contact Jennifer or Derek. At all. Let them think you simply went out and haven't returned yet. Second, I'm going to connect you with a private investigator I trust, someone who can help gather more evidence. And third, we need to get Lily to a safe place. She's safest with me. Richard, if Derek realizes she's the one who warned you, she becomes a liability. Children are vulnerable. We need to protect her." My stomach turned. "What are you suggesting?" "I have a colleague who runs a safe house network. We can place Lily there temporarily, just until we have enough evidence to go to the police. It's completely secure. I'm not letting her out of my sight." Elena's voice softened. "I understand. Margaret told me how much your family meant to you. But right now, the best way to protect Lily is to make sure Derek and Jennifer believe everything is normal. If Lily disappears with you, they'll know something's wrong. But if she goes to stay with a friend for a few days, if you tell Jennifer you arranged it before you left on a spontaneous camping trip, they might believe it." She was right. I hated it, but she was right. When Lily woke up, I explained the plan. She was terrified but brave. God, she was so brave. "I trust you, Grandpa," she said. "If you think this is what we need to do, I'll do it." Elena arranged everything. By noon, Lily was safely placed with a family in Oakville, told her parents thought she was at a sleepover with a school friend. I'd texted Jennifer a brief message, taking a few days to clear my head. Went up to the cottage. Lily's at Sarah's house for the weekend. Need some space. The cottage was a lie. We'd sold it years ago. But Jennifer didn't need to know that. Now came the hard part, gathering evidence. Elena's private investigator was a woman named Rachel Kim, former Toronto police, now working private. She met me at a coffee shop in Mississauga. Your daughter and son-in-law have been busy, she said, sliding a folder across the table. I did some preliminary digging. The life insurance policies? They were taken out 6 months ago. Total value, $3.2 million. All with Jennifer as beneficiary. $3 million? Your house is paid off and worth about $1.1 million in today's market. You have investments and retirement savings worth another $800,000. Plus the insurance. They're looking at roughly $5 million total. I felt sick. There's more, Rachel continued. Derek has gambling debts. Serious ones. Owes about $200,000 to some very unpleasant people. And Jennifer's pharmaceutical sales job? She was fired 3 months ago for falsifying expense reports. She's been lying about still working there. So they need money. Desperately. And you're worth more dead than alive. Rachel laid out a plan. We'd wire the house with cameras and audio equipment. I'd return home in a few days. Act completely normal. We'd catch them in the act. Either attempting something or discussing their plans. It's risky, Rachel warned. If they try something, and we're not fast enough. I'm 63 years old, I said. I've survived a heart attack, cancer treatments alongside my wife, and raising a teenager in the 80s. I can handle this. Over the next 2 days, Rachel and her team installed tiny cameras throughout the house. In the living room, the kitchen, my bedroom, Derek's office. Audio equipment in every room. Everything fed to a monitoring station Rachel set up in a van parked down the street. On Monday morning, I drove home. Jennifer and Derek were both there. They looked surprised to see me. Dad! Jennifer rushed over, hugging me. You're back! We were so worried. You weren't answering your phone. Battery died, I lied smoothly. Forgot my charger. Did me good, though. The time away. Clear head now. Where's Lily? Derek asked. Still at her friend's place. Figured I'd pick her up this evening. Let her enjoy her time. I watched their faces carefully. Was that relief in Derek's expression? Well, I'm glad you're back safely, Jennifer said. Why don't I make you some lunch? You must be exhausted from driving. That'd be lovely, sweetheart. I went upstairs to my room, heart pounding. In my pocket, I had a small earpiece connected to Rachel. She could hear everything, see everything through the cameras. You're doing great, Rachel's voice came through. Just act natural. That afternoon, I took one of my heart medications. Later, Rachel told me what the cameras caught. After I'd swallowed my pill, Derek had gone into the bathroom. The camera there showed him opening my medication bottle, dumping out half the pills, and replacing them with different ones. Similar looking, but not the same. We had him. But Rachel said we needed more. Defense attorney will argue he was confused. Grabbed the wrong bottle. Didn't mean harm. We need them to explicitly discuss the plan. That evening, Jennifer made dinner. I pretended to be tired, said I was going to bed early. Instead, I lay in bed with my earpiece in, listening. Around 10 p.m., I heard them in the kitchen. Did you do it? Jennifer's voice. Yeah, switched his pills this afternoon. The ones Marcus got us. How long? Doctor said with his heart condition. If he takes these instead of his actual medication, he'll have a major cardiac event within 48 to 72 hours. Could happen sooner if there's any physical stress. And it'll look natural. Completely. Old man with a history of heart problems, just had a stressful few days wandering around. Tragic, but expected. My own daughter. Talking about my death like it was a business transaction. What about Lily? Jennifer asked. My blood ran cold. What about her? Derek, she's smart. What if she figures something out? She's 12. She won't suspect anything. Kid loses her grandpa to a heart attack. She'll be sad, but she'll move on. Kids are resilient. But if she does suspect something, Jennifer, we've been through this. We do this right. Nobody suspects anything. Your dad dies of natural causes. We inherit everything, pay off my debts, and we're set for life. Lily gets to grow up in a nice house with parents who can afford anything she wants. Everyone wins, except my father. There was a pause. You having second thoughts? No, I wish there was another way. There isn't. We're in too deep. The people I owe money to, they're not patient. If we don't pay soon, they're going to start hurting people. Is that what you want? Of course not. Then we stick to the plan. Your dad takes his medication, has a heart attack in his sleep. and we all get to move on with our lives. I heard Rachel's voice in my ear. Richard, we have enough. I'm calling the police now. The next hour was a blur. Police arrived, bursting into the house. Jennifer and Derek were arrested. I had to give a statement, show them the fake medications, explain everything. Detective Sarah Morrison was the lead investigator. She was kind, but thorough. Mr. Pearson, you were incredibly brave to do this, she said, but also incredibly lucky. If you'd actually taken those pills, Derek switched out. I know. We'll need to keep the medications as evidence. We're also going to need to get a statement from your granddaughter, Lily. God, I needed to see Lily. Elena brought her to me the next morning. She ran into my arms, crying. Is it over, Grandpa? Are we safe? We're safe, sweetheart. You saved my life. You know that? The trial took 8 months. Derek pled guilty to attempted murder and conspiracy. Got 20 years. Jennifer fought it initially, but the evidence was overwhelming. Eventually, she took a plea deal. 15 years. The hardest part was Lily. She had to testify. Had to explain how she'd found the evidence, why she'd warned me. Watching her up there, so small in that witness stand, talking about how her own mother had planned to murder me, it broke something in me. After the trial, Lily came to live with me permanently. The courts granted me full custody. She needed therapy, of course. We both did. You don't just get over discovering your parent is a murderer, but we healed. Slowly. About a year after the trial, something unexpected happened. I got a phone call from a woman named Patricia Holloway. She said she needed to meet with me urgently about Margaret. We met at a cafe. Patricia was around my age, well-dressed, nervous. Mr. Pearson, I don't know if Margaret ever mentioned me. We worked together at the women's shelter. I don't think so. But Margaret knew a lot of people through her volunteer work. Patricia took a deep breath. 20 years ago, I was in an abusive marriage. My husband nearly killed me. I had a baby daughter, and I knew if I stayed, he'd eventually kill both of us. But I had no money, no family, nowhere to go. I'm sorry you went through that. Your wife saved my life. She found me a safe place to stay, helped me get a lawyer, supported me through the divorce and custody battle. She even paid for my daughter's daycare for 6 months while I got back on my feet. I promised her that if she ever needed anything at all, I'd be there. That sounds like Margaret. When I read about your trial in the news, about what Jennifer tried to do, it broke my heart. Margaret loved you so much. She'd be devastated to know what happened. She would. Patricia reached into her purse and pulled out an envelope. I know this doesn't fix anything, but I wanted you to know that the kindness Margaret showed me changed my entire life. My daughter just graduated from medical school. She's going to be a doctor because Margaret gave us the chance to survive and thrive. She handed me the envelope. Inside was a check, a substantial check. Patricia, I can't accept this. Please. Margaret never wanted repayment for what she did, but I'm successful now, and I want to help. I heard Lily's in your custody now. Use this for her education, for therapy, for whatever you both need. It's not about the money. It's about continuing the cycle of kindness that Margaret started. I looked at this woman, this stranger who my wife had helped decades ago, who'd never forgotten that kindness, and I understood something. Margaret had created chosen family. People bound not by blood, but by love and compassion and mutual support. Patricia was part of that family. Elena, the lawyer who'd dropped everything to help me, was part of that family. Rachel, the investigator who'd put herself at risk to gather evidence, was part of that family. And Lily and I, we were part of it too. Blood doesn't make you family. Jennifer taught me that the hard way. She shared my DNA, my last name, my home, and still she was willing to kill me for money. But Patricia, Elena, Rachel, these women who owed me nothing, they'd stepped up. They'd protected me. They'd cared. Today, Lily just turned 14. She's doing well in school, considering everything. Still sees her therapist twice a week. We both do. Patricia's daughter, Dr. Holloway now, is Lily's pediatrician. Lily calls her Aunt Carmen. Elena still handles all my legal matters and has become a close friend. We have dinner once a month. Rachel taught Lily self-defense and has become something like an aunt to her as well. We've created our own family. Not the one I was born into or the one I thought I'd built with Jennifer, but something better. something chosen, something real. Last week, Lily asked me if I ever regret not having more children, if I'm angry at Jennifer. I'm not angry, I told her honestly. I'm sad for her. She chose money over love, and she'll spend the next 15 years realizing what she lost. But I can't be angry, because if none of this had happened, I wouldn't have learned the most important lesson of my life. What's that, Grandpa? That family isn't about blood or obligation. It's about choice. It's about showing up. It's about the people who answer the phone at 3 in the morning when you're scared. It's about the ones who put themselves at risk to keep you safe. And, sweetheart, it's about 12-year-old girls who are brave enough to speak up when they see something wrong, even when it means betraying their own parents. She hugged me tight. I love you, Grandpa. I love you too, Lily. Always. The family I was born into tried to kill me. The family I chose saved my life. And that makes all the difference.